holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They begin with a run by Davis. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. For these two division rivals, the schedule maker gave them a couple of second-half meetings this year. They met for the first time back in Week 11, and it was the Bills winning on the road, so they look for the sweep here in Buffalo. Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Allen. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 31. Here's Davis running right. And he's got it down to the 28. The Bills at 11-3 on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. On play action, Allen. They'll roll him out right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
To the air, Allen. And he will find his man, Samuel. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Now Allen off the bootleg, rolling to his right. Throw right side, caught by Davis. Touchdown, Bills. Ray Davis with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Bills will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Rodgers and the Jets now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Here's Rodgers to throw. That one into the hands of Adam Adams downfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Throwing now is Rodgers. On the out route, this is Adams with a catch. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Bills are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. That's to about the 28. 2nd down coming up. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
What's that? The drive will start with an option going left. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. Here's Allen to throw it. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Allen going to throw. He'll air this one toward Coleman. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
2 things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the 1st down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting 1st downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. They bring the man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
A tough spot here. 3rd and 15.
Looking to throw. Travis going up top. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. Back deep to return is K.J. Hamler.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better. Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down. Working from the gun, Rodgers.
There's Hall bringing in another one.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
Past the 20. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown.
Tyler Bass now for the point after.
And it's good to make it 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 3rd down, Davis. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen.
A short throw pulled in by Kincaid.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, I could spin this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage, but when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
Hey, hold. Half 10. That's it.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. He will find Davis on the left side, complete.
And he is going to have a Bills first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
This will be caught. It's Samuel. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme.
and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays you can't account for?
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now Allen.
He dumps this off underneath. Here's Davis.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit.
The kick by Bass is good.
And that will do it for this first half. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A very one-sided first half, 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half. And that trend is continuing here.
Now Rodgers. That's into the hands of the rookie from Ole Miss. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Now it's Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time.
And the Bills are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, I think everyone who's watching is certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, aren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Davis. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
And here's Davis to run again on second.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this third down. Throwing now is Allen. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You can see and feel the disappointment on that one because you saw some guys on the sidelines jumping up going, oh, no. Looked like they had that one set up well on third down, but you got to give yourself time to get rid of the football.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in, and the lead will stay put at 17. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. Hall ought to give up the middle. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Hall again on second down.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on second down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers.
That one behind his man, incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Bills are going to get the football back. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there. You've given yourself a chance. You're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen.
That's taken in. It's Keon Coleman.
Shifts by him. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Keon Coleman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is now 24. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition,
and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
A first down carry for Davis. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll run it again here with Davis. Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Handoff, running left is Davis, and he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this will stay a 3-score game at 24.
Wow, partner, it's almost a little jarring to see a holder set up on the other side of midfield. I haven't brought out my binoculars to make sure on that one. That is showing an awful lot of confidence in the kicker to try and hit from 61 yards, and this one winds up no good.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
One quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL.
Second and 7.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Being chased out left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Travis. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he's taken down inside the 30. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
Here we go. Here we go.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall.
Fights off the defender.
Terrell Bernard is in on the tackle.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now.
Now an option play on second down. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Red, cycle. Ready?
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Rodgers got to have this one. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Bills are going to get the football back. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Motion man is Shakir. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Here's Davis. He'll try and run some clock. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2nd and 6.
Tight.
They go again with Davis. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Now Rodgers. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
To throw is Rodgers. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 3rd down and 13.
Hey, 626.
Rodgers going to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Jet 300. Jet 300.
Here's Rodgers.
He gets it underneath to Hall.
Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down. Rodgers now to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be knocked down hard at the end of that one.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Rodgers again now. And it's complete to Adams. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
88.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And now here's another interception. And the Bills are going to take over here up near the 40. Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, quite well.
Alert! Here you go.
Now a first carry for their fullback. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles.